On your 18th birthday, you join the army and fight for your country. You risk your life to save the country and the people in it. But the country that you're trying to save won't even let you drink or have any of your other rights. When you're in the military, you can't have an alcoholic beverage. It doesn't even matter if you're in the country that legally lets 18-year-olds drink. You cannot drink because you are still part of the United States. You can't even after fighting for your life to keep everyone safe. I know that all Americans should be able to drink and have their rights back. And in this speech, I'm going to prove it to you. I want to resolve that the United States government should lower the legal drinking age to 18. My key terms are the drinking age, the age at which you can purchase and drink alcohol. If you're in the army, you can't drink. Yes. Why would you give an underage kid in a war a beer? But past experiences with on-base drinking under the age of 21 support the thought of allowing younger troops to drink alcohol. It is reported that 18-year-olds drink responsibly on base. They were able to do it in their free time on the base, but now most of the military won't let anyone do it if they're fighting or anything like that. But when you're not fighting or preparing to fight, it should be fine. Sometimes you'll get ambushed, so you have to be ready, but most of the time there's another set of troops that they're ready to let other people rest. They aren't on duty, so why would it be a problem? We made the military enforce the legal drinking age at the age of 21 after the states started to enforce it themselves. Have you ever heard terrible stories of a drunk teen fighting? Sometimes alcohol could even help you get that extra confidence, or you can get adrenaline that could save your life. Getting completely intoxicated, though, is obviously not right. You can have problems making the right choices, but, sometimes that happens. But why would they have enough alcohol to let everyone get completely intoxicated in the first place? Sometimes they barely have enough food. The damage of secretly drinking at the age of 18 can lead to Dangerous Act 2019. 25.8% of people ages 18 and older have been found binge drinking. 18 and older have experienced alcohol disorder treatment in households. Found this alcohol facts and statistics. AUD is also called alcoholism. It causes you to be dependent on alcohol. All these things started with secretly hiding alcohol from their parents or guardians. It can also ruin an 18-year-old's life. The price of having an alcoholic beverage in your car alone can cost you $500, and they can make you take AA classes and even go to juvenile centers. Found this at Gabriel and Associates. Another good thing to mention is why at 21 you can drink till you die. You can take multiple shots and drink anything you want. This in itself is weird and dangerous, and if you start from an early age, it will help us understand our bodies to keep us prepared for the future. This problem is very important, that 85.6% of people ages 18 have reported they have drank alcohol at some point in their life. 69.5% have said that they have drank in the past year. Found this at Alcohol Facts and Statistics. So many kids are getting a hold of it and drinking it without supervision, which could cause death and very serious injuries. If it was legal, they would be able to drink in more open places where they have people to help them if serious things really did happen. They would be by people, and sometimes it can be in sketchy places, but not all the time. So they'd be in more places that could help them, like in bars or things like that. See, hiding it from your parents would be better too, because if you could legally drink, you would be able to have a better relationship with your parents because you won't be getting in fights. Have a relationship with your parents or guardian. Drinking and dangerous could hurt you and people around you. That is the reason why we should bring the drinking age down. 18-year-olds will keep hiding and getting in trouble if we do not handle this now. Even though we keep it at age 21 because of your brain is developed, doesn't mean we're saving lives. The brain doesn't fully develop until you're around the age of 25. That was at Peter White. Alcohol can cause a lot of health risks, but if you drink at a moderate rate, it is way less of a risk than before. Some alcoholic beverages are even better for the brain than some. Beer and wine help calm and relax the brain because of the polyphenols. Unless that Aspen Rigid Recovery, Colorado. Moderate alcohol consumption can also cause some of the good ways alcohol can help you. It will reduce the development of heart disease. It will act as blood thinner. I read a Feynman heart study gives us real results on moderate drinking can cause. The participants of the study gave blood samples and took a survey about if they smoke, drink, and their exercise regimens if they have them. is going to mention that they were drinking beer or wine in the study, so it was not hard liquor or seltzers. And it was proven that a beer or a glass of wine had lowered their levels of sickness. Sickness is a liquid that causes thick substances to plug your arteries. This proved that alcohol will reduce the risk of having heart problems or blood clotting issues because of the blood thinning properties. It will also lower the risk of having strokes due to sickness. Found this at Midra Hitty. It also can help people with diabetes. Drinking can decrease blood sugar levels. It blocks the production of glucose. So instead of creating that, it deals with the alcohol in your system, which helps. I found that in Matt Gonzo. We have one of the highest age restrictions for drinking alcohol in other countries. It is 18, or even when your parents say. One of the ways Great Britain helps keeps drunk driving low is they don't let kids get their license at 16. They let them at 17, which give you more experience with your parents and help you stay safe. I believe we should change the drinking age and get the freedoms back, and not all adults. Okay. For my plan, I will start to lower the drinking age by 1. So if in the first year, it will be at 20 years. Every year, I will lower it till it hits 18, then stops. If I have an increase in drunk driving or an increase in intoxication involving alcohol, I will slow it down and make it a year and a half. If it doesn't slow down, then I'll bring it back up a year till it hits 21. I intend to up the stakes, though, if you get caught drinking under the limit. So you'll have to wait the full 21 years till you can drink. I want this to make it so 18-year-olds can drink in 3 to 5 years. Hopefully keep kids safe and try to minimize secretly drinking. I want 18-year-olds' whole lives not to be ruined because of a beer bottle or being found with any type of alcohol. I want them to be able to fight for our country and save lives, but not have the ability to have a cold beer on base when they come back. People should realize that not alcohol can damage the...
If you ask almost anyone, they will say they have lost someone, whether it's a family member, a friend, or someone else. Well, my person was my friend. 7th grade year, she was hit by a drunk driver. An underage drunk driver at that. She was only 17 and just got her license. She had a whole life ahead of her, all to be thrown away because some driver wanted to decide he was going to drink. That incident cost me the life of not only a good friend, but a best friend that has been with me for 3 years. She just graduated high school. She was going to go to college. She was going to try and become a vet, but she couldn't. But she couldn't do any of that. She couldn't even get to say goodbyes. Today, I will be showing how lowering the drinking age to 18 will destroy the United States. Mainly touching on the facts that if we lower the drinking age, our death rates will go up immensely. Also, why just because other countries have the drinking age at 18, why that should not mean we should. There's also, if we lower the drinking age, health problems will go up. Not to mention, more people will become alcoholics and abuse rates will go up. As well as schooling. So many people want to go to college to find a job, but alcohol can ruin that. Drinking age is the legal age for when people have the ability to drink. There is no harm in the current laws of waiting until 21 to drink. This can be shown because CDC Gov says states that increased the legal drinking age to 21 saw a 16% median decline in motor vehicle crashes, meaning if we lower the drinking age, so many more people will die due to motor vehicle crashes. If we let more people drink, then some of those crashes have the chance of having the crash be with a semi will increase. Semi crashes could kill multiple people at once. If they hit, say, a full van of family, most of that family will be dead on impact or at least hospitalized. I know this because I have personal experience. My great-grandpa was hit by a semi in 2017 and had my great-grandma with him. While my great-grandpa died on impact, my great-grandma was hospitalized in a wheelchair in a healthcare facility for a year, if not more. So if a semi-crash goes up due to drinking, and it will have major impact on lives, not just ours, but everybody's. CDC also states, after all states adopted an age 21 MLDA, drinking during the previous month among persons aged 18 to 20 years declined from 59% in 1985 to 40% in 1991. So you see, if we lower the drinking age, then more people will take that to their advantage and become more likely to drink underage. Moving on, according to NIA.org, in a national survey, college students who binge drink alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or project as a result of drinking, 40% versus 7%, than students who drank but never binged. This is where the school part comes into play. As reading this statement, you can see that if we lower the age to 18, which is also when most people go to college, more students will turn out to not do the greatest in college, and without college, it is very hard to get the job that you want or your dream job. This being said, you can see that the drinking age of 21 has no harm. In fact, it actually helps the United States, whether it's saving the amount of deaths or saving the amount of people from messing up in college. Changing this law will only make matters worse. There is no significance in changing the law. This can be proven by the American Medical Association statement that damage from alcohol at this time can be long-term and irreversible. In addition, short-term or moderate drinking impairs learning and memory far more in youth than adults. Adolescents need only drink half as much to suffer the same negative effects. So what people gather from this is your brain isn't even fully developed at the age we have the drinking law right now. Why lower it and make it worse, causing more people to get brain damage? The U.S. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration report someone who starts drinking before the age of 15 is 5 times more likely to become alcoholic later in life than those who wait until they are 21 years of age. So you see, changing the law will cause these numbers to go up significantly, cause more people to become alcoholics, and along with being an alcoholic, abuse can often tend to play a role in the factor causing more people to grow up in abusive households and causing more people to have depression. Keeping the drinking age has also been helping the United States. Lowering the drinking age has been harmful. Don't believe me? We have done it in the past, and things were only worse than now. YouthRights.org says that the seats were major in the past, and things were only worse. Due to drinking in the 1980s, but one in particular stood out: Candy Lightner. Lightner was one that found the MADD, or the National Minimum Drinking Age Act. Before the act, her daughter was killed by a drunk driver in 1980, causing Lightner to take a stand and develop the MADD. Moving on, this problem does not need solving. NPR.org states, researchers from Boston University reviewed scientific literature published since 2006 and concluded keeping the legal drinking age at 21 reduces rates of drunk driving and crashes, and reduces rates of underage drinking. This being stated shows there is no harm in the fact that actually reduces the age of underage drinking, whereas you might say it would increase. Well, just because we lower it does not mean it will decrease the underage drinking factor. It will just cause people younger to drink. Heck, if we start lowering the drinking age, then for all you know, we could start having kids like 15 years old illegally drink. With a drinking age, and we should keep it. As stated, we don't need to lower the drinking age. There is no harm in the current system. Scope EDU says the age 21 laws have saved up to 900 lives yearly on the road. According to estimates from National Highway Transport Safety Administration, did you know that there are already 95,000 people that die a year from some sort of drinking? Now add the 900 from car accidents stated above plus the other death-causing factors. The number would be astronomical. At least 190 deaths a year. My opponent has no justified change. What? Lower the drinking age so more people can have fun, but don't even think about lives you're causing to be lost when you lower this law? Do you have no heart? Think of all the families that could and will lose someone due to you deciding to lower the drinking age. Do you not care? The law should obviously not be changed. There is no harm in the fact that the law is actually improving the United States and helping us. I hope you see that now when stating all the cons of lowering the drinking age and all the pros of why we should keep the drinking age the same.
With my plan, I want 18-year-olds to be able to drink and buy alcohol. It takes safe procedures and know the risk and safety to make sure they are safe and know that they are doing themselves justice. I'm going to explain why my plan to get us back on track. To get started, I will lower the age year by year, so we aren't just letting 18-year-old through 20-year-olds drink at once. It will start with 20 and go down. If we have an increase in drunk drivers or public intoxication by 20-year-olds or less, then it will go back up by a year and a half until it reaches 21, and I will start over. I want this to be done quickly, but if they can't handle it, I want to make sure that people will be safe. Another way I will endorse safety is that every high school student will have to take a class which explains the dangers of alcohol. The class will also explain what it can do to your body in some ways, and you can prepare for before drinking. Plus a safety plan if things go bad. I want them to know and understand that. What could happen if they don't take the class, and they will not have the right to drink. I plan to have a symbol on your license to tell cashiers or bartenders that you can and can't drink. It will be like an endorsement that they put on your license. If you hit the age of 21, however, you will be able to drink with or without the endorsement. Make sure the underage drinking will stop. I want to up the punishment a little bit. If you're caught, you will have to fully wait till you're 20 years old to buy or drink alcohol on your first offense. By the second one, you will be forced to take AA classes. Now after that, you will be put on probation and possibly go to jail. I want to ensure that kids younger know there will be serious consequences of their actions, and they won't just do it over and over again. Like I said earlier, I want this to be in 3 to 5 years. Now Diamond said that younger people will drink. Right now, as it stands at 21 years old, 86% have reported that they've already drank. That's a lot of people. So I believe that if it is lower, then kids would not be as likely to, because they just have a couple more years. If you turn 18, you still have to wait 3 years till you can legally drink. If it's 18, the time would go by a little faster, and I still want them to be safe. So with the drinking and driving, they will have the class. Now if they don't take it, like I said, they will not be able to they'll not be able to have the endorsement in your license. So with that, I hope to keep kids safe, and I'm not a heartless monster because of the class. And it would be probably a challenging class because I want them to really understand and know what they're doing to their bodies, themselves, and people around them. It's kind of like an extra class that you can just be safe with. But yeah.
Drinking causes many deaths. For example, ABC News tells the tragic story of the deadliest drunk car accident that holds the record, killing 27 people, and out of those 27 people, 24 of them were kids. Along with that, this accident also injured 34 other people. These people did nothing wrong. They were on their way back from a church trip at that. ABC News stated the crash occurred around 11 p.m. when a drunk driver in a pickup truck was traveling on the wrong side of the interstate and slammed into the oncoming school bus. So you see, if you continue to drink, you could end up harming yourself and many, many others. I will now be covering the points that the affirmative side brought up. Now, she said her plan was to lower it year by year, and that how younger people didn't drink, but it could just be, the same. Whereas, as I said in my previous speech, if you lower the drinking age, then it's not just a couple years younger that will drink. Like, if you lower it to 18, then that can cause 15-year-olds to drink. There are multiple reasons as to why the philosophy that we should lower the drinking age is impractical. For starters, her plan is impractical. She said that she should lower it year by year, which, yes, that takes time, but then she also said that it should go up if people start to fail. Well, let's be honest. We don't think people are going to always succeed 100%. So are you just saying that it's going to just go back to 21, keep going back to 21 year after year? The affirmative plan will not work because if we lower the drinking age, then more and more people will start to take that to their advantage, and more people will end up having health problems, getting into wrecks, or getting abused under alcohol use. Did you know that we had 95 deaths a year due to alcohol? How would you feel if people you loved and cherished became part of American deaths because this number went up? Imagine it being 1,500. Well, that can happen because if we lower the drinking age, or also, what if a family member or a close friend becomes an alcoholic and they die due to brain damage? This leads to the fact that the person can also become addicted and start to abuse others, whether it's the person's kid, family, or just random people. This is why we should not lower the drinking age and look at all the problems it will cause. There's also the fact that she said you can drink more openly in like bars and stuff, and you'll be around people that can help. But bars are bars. How many people are going to try and help you if half of them are drunk themselves? they're all going to try, and that's how bar fights start. Like, they all get drunk and then try to fight each other. So how is there going to be any help in that? This is why I think we should not lower the drinking age. Now, in Grace Ann's first speech, she brought up joining the army, which, yes, multiple people do, but that also helps your nation. Drinking has no helping on your nation. Like, it doesn't help whatsoever. So the more you drink, it's just going to cause the United States statistics to actually go down. So, meanwhile, joining the army, you can do that at 18, but you can also help the United States at 18. Next, she said drinking on base, which, yes, some people can't do, which is logical. Like, if you drink on base and then, like you said, get ambushed, what are you going to do? Drunk hold a gun and go boom and then hit something random? Like, that's not going to be a good story. Then you have the stories of teens fighting, which there's not just teens that fight. It's other people too. For example, you get people that's 40, 30. Shoot, you even get people that's like 60 in fights. What does teens have to do with anything? Then you have confidence. While confidence can sometimes be an effect on alcohol, it's not always an effect on alcohol. In fact, it's very rare it's an effect on alcohol, because most people get too drunk where they don't even realize they're being confident, and they just stumble around. If anything, they fall to the ground, which makes them less confident. And then you have problems making the right choices, which is proving my point exactly. When you're drunk, you're not in the right state of mind, meaning you could do something that's totally illegal and have no recollection of it the next day. You could wake up in jail and be like, whoa, what did I do to end up here? Then you have starting at an early age. As I said, starting at an early age can very badly affect your school. Most people want to go to college. So, if you want to go to college, you can't really be drinking. I mean, you can, but then your test scores would go down. Also, if you hide it from your parents, now that's just going to cause more stress on your parents and you. It will cause them to not trust you. Whereas, yeah, sure, if you lower the drinking age and you don't have to hide it from your parents, they're still not going to like that. Like, who wants their kid drinking when they know how much problems it cost? Next, you had drinking at a moderate rate. No whatsoever amount of alcohol is okay. You shouldn't just drink at a moderate rate. Any type of alcohol could get you drunk. Shoot, you could be a lightweight and still get drunk off of a tiny little cup of whiskey. Next, you had diabetes. Now, my mom is a diabetic, so alcohol does not help. In fact, if you have low sugar like she usually does, she needs higher sugar, which alcohol will ruin that.
So with Diamonds, she said something about a truck guy drinking and driving. Now, when she said that, she never specifically said an age. She never said if it was 20 and younger. So how am I supposed to know that it is an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, or a 20-year-old? Also, for almost all of her statistics, she never gave the age range. Almost all of them, she never did. So I don't know what age they are, so I can't really fight back against that. See, helping nation with troops in the war. There usually are other troops. Usually half of them get breaks. They go to sleep because they could have been up for all the time. So usually they have two sets. One of them to be ready, kind of like nighttime and day-night shift. Daytime's up during the daytime and goes to sleep at night. Same and vice versa. See, about the school thing. You're supposed to be 18 years old. Now, very few students are 18 years old when they are still in school, but for the most part, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and 20-year-olds are out of school and have graduated by this point. And there's no alcohol or any kind of drugs on school grounds. But plenty of them still bring them to, like 16-year-olds who come in here. on some type of song. It's never stopped him before, no matter how or what the age limit is. And because of that, I feel like a lot of the statistics and a lot of the points she brought up, she didn't really have the right amount, or the type that we were looking for, because there was no age limits. And a lot of it was just that's about all I have. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay, so when I first started speaking in my first introduction, I was talking about how it would cause abuse and then car accidents and then health problems, but somehow she got off the topic of that and started talking about the Navy. How does that fit in? Second of all, when she was talking about how she would require a class for learning about alcohol, yeah, honey, that's health class. We learn about alcohol in health class, or at least I did. Maybe you missed too many days to miss that lesson, but at least I learned about alcohol. Also, my drunk driver story. And when I was talking about school, I meant the college school, not high school. As I stated in that speech, I said college, but you took that as high school. Now, our definitions of terms was drinking and driving. I think we pretty much came to a basic, conclusion that means the minimum age someone can drink. I assume that we have all learned something from this, and I think that my key arguments was the fact of my first speech with the alcohol of drinking underage and abuse and schooling, and I think those are mainly my points. And again, her plan will not work because going year after year, that doesn't make sense. It's just going to keep going up, as stated before. If no one's guaranteed to have a 100% successful rate of never drinking under the age or anything again, it'll just go up. I think that we should not have drinking due to how many problems it caused. This is what I think, and that is why the resolution should not pass.
Okay. In this speech, I have talked about the legal drinking age. I'm trying to get it so 18-year-olds can legally drink and purchase alcohol. I think if you fight in the army, you should have a cold beer. I want people to understand that not all alcohol is bad, and to try to find good things in moderate drinking. I hope this sums up things very nicely, and my plan gives 18-year-olds resources to learn and get reliable material to understand the risks they will be taking by drinking. And there will be a series of consequences if they don't follow the rules. There will be ways of workers to tell if they are allowed to drink or not. But my main priority is to make sure I have the best interests in keeping kids safe and educated on what they are doing and trying to give some of their rights back. I want to make the drinking age 18 so that they can drink and purchase alcohol. I hope you all agree with me and let me pass this law. I want people to know that drinking can cause serious problems, but not if you do it in a moderate or a slow rate. See, still not fully letting the brain develop anyways by the law because 21-year-olds, Every human is different, so there should be a law that decides when everyone should be able to drink. Alcohol can also do some good things as well, like making you less of a risk of blood clots, seizures, and diabetes. It can make you more sociable and get you out there and make new friends. I want kids to understand that binge drinking and secretly hiding it can cause serious problems with your daily life, your parents, friends at school, and work. I want people to understand that a beer and wine are fine if your body consumed in moderation. I hope you let me pass this law.